Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Week 8 NFL upsets with Alec Pequignot on the Talk Sports podcast. As well, today I will be previewing Thursday night football between the Buccaneers and the Bills. Let's get right into the show. Here are my two locks for this week, and I will be doing a show just like this, but it will be all of my game picks for Sunday and best bets. I also have some prop bets for player bets on here, but here are my two locks this week for NFL. My first one is the Lions over the Raiders. The Lions are favored by 8.5, and I'm taking them to cover and lock that 8.5 number. And the final score will be 48-28. That is 10. So that would mean the Lions covered. My second one is the Eagles minus 6.5 to cover my lock of the week. Minus 6.5 Eagles over the Commanders. Final score 42-35. And my first upset this week is the Giants over +3 to upset the Jets. It sounds like Daniel Jones is going to be back this week for the Giants. And the Jets do have a good defense, but I don't trust Zach Wilson. And I feel like the Giants are going to force some turnovers. Bengals. Here is my second upset pick. It is the Bengals +3.5 over the 49ers. I like this upset because the 49ers are probably going to be without Debo. We don't know if Brock Purdy's going to play. He's in concussion protocol. He was put in concussion protocol when the 49ers got on the plane to come home from Minnesota on Monday night because he started feeling symptoms. So that would tell me that it's probably unlikely that Brock Purdy plays on Sunday. So that would tell me that one of two things is going to happen. If Brock Purdy somehow clears concussion protocol before Sunday, I would be absolutely surprised, which would make Sam Darnold the starting quarterback for the 49ers. And if we know anything about Sam Darnold, he loves to turn the football over. So therefore, I am going to take the Bengals +3.5 to pull the upset. And my stud team of the week from last week is the Philadelphia Eagles. They had a big game against the team that's on the other side of this. The Eagles played on Sunday night last week and won 31-17 over the team you're going to see here in a minute. And I'm going to explain why that team is my dud team of the week. And just back to the Eagles. Goddard had a good game. A.J. Brown had a good game. Devontae Smith, hit or miss. Defense, that front seven of the Eagles, nothing to laugh at. It is a really good front seven. And I was looking at stats before the show started, and the Eagles are top 10 in most defensive categories. And my Super Bowl pick before the season was the Eagles from the NFC. In the AFC, it was the Bengals, and I'm still sticking to those picks as of right now. My Super Bowl prediction from the preseason as of right now. And like I said, my dud team of the week is the Miami Dolphins. Miami, you had a chance to prove that you were for real against the team that's actually good in the Eagles. And what did you do? You laid an egg, and you want to come out after the game and blame it on the referees. You can't blame everything You lose. You can't blame it on the officials. You got to take responsibility for losing. Tua, don't get me wrong. I know I criticize and pick on and rant about Tua all the time. He is a good quarterback, but he's not great. He's not a Jalen Hurts. He's not a Justin Herbert, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Anthony Richardson at some point, maybe. Maybe Brock Purdy, if he can stay healthy and come back from this concussion he's got. But that is the reason the Dolphins are my dud team of the week. Now, the Thursday night football preview for the Buffalo Bills versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I'm going to let you know right now, I'm about to give you some stats. Here's the Buffalo Bills stats. They're not on screen. I have them written down. The Bills offense, total offense, 5th in the NFL, averaging 369.5 yards a game. Their passing offense, 5th in the NFL, 174 attempts, 246 completions, 70.7% completion percentage, 1,798 yards, and they average about 258 passing yards a game. They're rushing 14th in the NFL, 186 attempts, 790 yards. Their defense, their total defense, defensive yards, defense total, they are 14th in total defense. They have given up 2,307 yards on the season. Oh, and their offense, 112 yards rushing per game, which, like I said, they have the 14th best rush offense. Back to their defense. Their total defense is 14th. The yards allowed per game, 329. Their pass defense is 10th. 100 attempts, 148. Completions, 213. 69.5 completion percentage. Yards, 1,409 yards per game. They give up 201.3 passing yards. Their rush defense is 22nd in the NFL, 173 attempts, and they've given up 898 yards, almost 900. And per game, they're giving up 100, almost just right around 130 yards. They get 129 yards a game. And their rushing yards, that was rushing, 128 yards. They give up pass defense, like I said, is 10th. They give up 201.3 passing yards a game. Their team differential turnover, +3. They have forced 8 interceptions and 6 fumbles for a total of 14 turnovers. And giveaways, they've only had 7 interceptions and 4 fumbles for 11 giveaways. Now we get down to the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers offense. Their total offense is 22nd, 1,786 yards. Yards per game, they average 297.7, so almost 298. Total passing yards. Their passing offense is 15th, 133 passing yard, 133 attempts, 205 completions for a 64.9% completion percentage. Yards, 1,000 319. Yards per game for their passing yards per game, 219.8. Their rushing offense is 28th. They only average 77.8 yards per game rushing. Their passing offense averages 219.8 yards. So total defense now, 20th. They give up 342 yards. Their pass defense, total defense, 20th. They give up 342 yards per game. Their pass defense, 27th. 145 attempts, 218 completions, 66.5% completion percentage. Yards per game given up 246. Rush defense is 10th, 52 yards, 52 attempts, and they've only given up 575 yards on the ground. And per game, they give up 95.8 rushing yards. Team turnovers. They lead the league in forcing turnovers due to the Buccaneers. +7. 6 interceptions forced, 7 fumbles forced, for a total of 13 takeaways. Giveaways. They've only thrown 4 interceptions and lost 2 fumbles for a giveaway total of 6. Now I have some guys you should not be starting in fantasy. Players I would bench / not start. Rachaad White, Trey Palmer, and Khalil Shakir, and both defenses from this game. Thursday night football player prop bets. The first player prop bet I've got is Baker Mayfield higher than 228 passing yards or higher than 33.5 passing attempts. Player prop number 2. Oh my God. Player prop bet number 2. James Cook, lower than 50.5 rushing yards. Player prop bet number 3. Stephon Diggs, higher than 85.5 receiving yards. And ladies and gentlemen, that will do it for today's show. I will see you back here, most likely tonight after the Buccaneers game, on my YouTube for Falcons franchise. Have a good rest of your day.